Congratulations, Donald Trump, on being the first president in history to send pharmaceutical stocks soaring with a speech supposedly about lowering drug prices.
My administration is launching the most sweeping action in history to lower the price of prescription drugs for the American people.
How can that be true when his long-awaited speech on lowering drug prices actually made pharmaceutical company stocks go through the roof?
We are not going to reward companies that constantly raise prices.
Does anyone really believe that? Look at what he's done so far. Pfizer raised the U.S. prices of more than 90 drugs last year, and they're still getting an annual $2 billion tax break from the GOP tax plan. This year, AbbVie raised the price of the arthritis drug Humira so much that it is estimated to increase U.S. drug spending by $1.2 billion per year. And they're still getting an annual $1 billion tax break from the GOP tax plan. Merck relied on price hikes for 100% of their earnings growth in 2016, and they're getting a $2.7 billion annual tax break from the GOP tax plan.
We're going to take on one of the biggest obstacles to affordable medicine, the tangled web of special interests.
This one doesn't even pass the laugh test. Trump's whole cabinet is stocked with big pharma executives, and the American people are paying their salaries. Alex Azar, Trump's Secretary of Health and Human Services, is the former president of Eli Lilly's U.S. division. Scott Gottlieb, Trump's FDA commissioner, received more than $400,000 from Big Pharma between 2013 and 2015. Daniel Best, who wrote Trump's plan to lower drug prices, is the former director of business development for Pfizer. Joe Grogan, the man in charge of writing Trump's health budget, was a lobbyist for Gilead.
It's time to end the global freeloading once and for all.
Trump's big idea for lowering drug prices in the U.S. is to raise drug prices in the rest of the world. Are you kidding me? The last thing we need to do is make greedy pharmaceutical companies even richer.
We're very much eliminating the middlemen. The middlemen became very, very rich, right?
Unless Trump actually goes after pharmaceutical companies, kicking one stakeholder out of the game just means the remaining CEOs get a bigger share of their massive prescription drug profits.
It also gives Medicare Part D plans new tools to negotiate lower prices for more drugs.
Listen to his words carefully. Trump is saying that he is going to lower prescription drug prices by giving private insurance companies, not Medicare, more bargaining power. In other words, he has no intention of honoring his campaign promise to let the federal government negotiate drug prices for Medicare. Private insurance companies can already negotiate good drug prices for Medicare beneficiaries, but they don't. One study found that Medicare pays 80% more for drugs than the VA and 73% more for drugs than Medicaid. That's what happens when you let for-profit companies run the show. This proposal is so weak, even Fox News admits Trump is breaking his promise to negotiate Medicare drug prices because it is vigorously opposed by the pharmaceutical industry.
So apparently the administration will not call for allowing the government or Medicare to negotiate directly for lower prices.
We will have tougher negotiation, more competition, and much lower prices at the pharmacy counter.
Trump is talking about rebates, as in, instead of actually lowering drug prices, which account for 22% of private insurance premiums, he wants to give you a coupon.
Our plan bans the pharmacist gag rule, which punishes pharmacists for telling patients how to save money.
So, Trump wants to make sure you know when you're being ripped off, but he isn't going to do anything to stop it from happening.
We will work every day to ensure all Americans have access to the quality, affordable medication they need and they deserve. And we will not rest until this job of unfair pricing is a total victory for the USA.
Trump has already been in office for more than a year and a half. At a time when 1 in 5 Americans can't afford to fill their prescriptions, how can we believe a single word that he says? He has surrounded himself with big pharma lobbyists, and it shows. The only victory Trump can claim on drug prices is making pharma executives richer and hurting American patients who are struggling to afford their medication.
This is a total ripoff.